Good afternoon, everyone. How are you all doing? I am joined by Vordus. Hello, Vordus.
Hello!
I'm going to be covering the Xbox Gamescom 2021 showcase.
Yes, this is Xbox's Gamescom showcase. They are not going to have any major reveals today. It's mostly stuff we already know about. But I should expect some interesting updates on the stuff we're expecting to see for the rest of the year.
Hopefully.
Expect release dates.
Speaking of releases, Psychonauts 2 come out today?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
But if you're on Game Pass, you might be able to just change your location to New Zealand and play it now.
Hello, Wash.
Hey, Wash.
Very much enjoying these landscapes that Microsoft have provided during the waiting time.
Yeah. I mean, it makes for a really pretty screensaver.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, never mind. The buffering has ruined it for me.
Oh dear.
I think that was Twitch, actually, because my stream just dropped a bunch of frames at the same time.
Seems okay on my end, although I'm now.
Hopefully that doesn't happen again. And hopefully that doesn't happen tomorrow. I've gotta do a big yell at EE and make sure they don't destroy my internet while I'm streaming.
Yeah, they do that. Is it EE that have their whole deal of we have a SIM card in our routers, so if you drop out, you go onto mobile data?
I don't know. That's something I haven't heard of.
It's a new thing. I'm willing to bet it doesn't work very well.
Probably not. Most definitely wouldn't work here because the phone coverage here is terrible.
Well, your stream is now 4 or 5 seconds behind, so if you wanted to refresh it to catch up, you still have a chance.
Let's see. I'm gonna refresh the page.
Raccoon desktop.
Raccoon desktop?
Yeah, just your desktop is visible.
Yeah, that's fine.
Raccoon.
Oh.
Hello everyone, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to our 2021 Xbox at Gamescom stream. I can't believe it's been 2 years since we were together in person in Germany.
You got closed
And in fact,
captions.
it's been
That's
6
nice.
years since we hosted our first ever fan fest with over 1,000 Xbox fans on a giant boat on the Rhine River right there in Cologne, Germany. I have so many wonderful
I want to go to
memories
Gamescom
from back
someday.
in 2015 with our fans and all the fan fest events that have happened every year since then. I even remember it was raining and that first fan fest, fans were waiting in the rain and they were still so excited just to come in and
I'm actually
be part of the
generally
event. And Phil Spencer,
more
Adrian
enthusiastic
Nelson, and
about
others
Gamescom
for the
than I am
team were there
E3.
greeting them as they were waiting. I made so many
I mean,
friends
E3
from that
has
event.
just
Even
become,
to this
here's a
day,
bunch of
I
trailers,
contacted
which is
fans
great,
around the
but
world that I've met at FanFest. And on behalf of
the
all of us at
downtime
Team
between those
Xbox,
trailers
we
is
truly treasure
getting
these
stale.
and we miss being there
Yep.
in person. That's a highlight of the year for us, is to get out and be with our fans in person. We know fans in Germany, across Europe, and
Also
from
just the fact
around
that
the world
Gamescom is
would
in
travel
Europe
to be
and
there
it is
with us
far
at
easier to
Gamescom.
get to.
And we will be back
Well,
with
that's
you
true.
in the future. But we still want to take a moment to celebrate the Xbox gaming community and the games that continue to connect us. When you meet people face to face and you hear their real stories,
No, puppy.
you begin to understand the power of social connection that only gaming can unlock.
Sorry, post.
This year, I'll miss hosting that lunch we did with fans every year at Gamescom, or the impromptu meets and greets we would do at Gamescom with our team, going out for coffee and answering all the questions that our fans had. But I also love how our FanFest community has grown globally. And hearing stories of fans
I wouldn't mind having the Xbox mini fridge, I just wouldn't have anywhere to put it.
Have they even managed to make those things yet? They keep talking about making them.
I love the family feeling that our gaming community fosters. And given the
I mean, you can probably... It
so
probably might be easier to get your hands on one than a Series X.
Many of us stay connected.
Depends how many they make.
Social way to connect with our friends, no matter where they are. And that's why I'm excited to highlight especially our German and
They finally gave up and bought an S earlier today.
and celebrate the connections we formed with them
better than nothing.
through Xbox.
Yeah.
Because whether you're there in person or not, we're still
But you
connected
are
through
still
our
going to be
memories
able to
and our passion
enjoy
for games.
next-gen
On behalf
games.
of everyone at Team Xbox,
I mean, I can wait for the X to go down in price, or,
fans,
exist.
Thank you for the memories. Thank you for joining us here at 2021 Xbox Gamescom stream.
I want the mini fridge. I don't need the mini fridge. I don't have anywhere to put the mini fridge.
Mehr als nur ein Ausflug. Es ist der Ort, an dem alle Gamer zusammenkommen, ihre Passion auszuleben.
Ich liebe an der Gamescom, dass ich dort die Möglichkeit habe, mich mit anderen Community-Members zu treffen, die ich vielleicht nur von den sozialen Netzwerken kenne, aber natürlich auch Freundschaften zu pflegen, die sich über die Jahre aufgebaut haben und man auch nur relativ wenig Gelegenheit, sich auf einer persönlichen Basis zu treffen. Ich freue mich immer sehr, wenn neue Spiele vorgestellt werden und dass man natürlich neue Produkte zu sehen bekommt. Und die vielen Merchandising-Stände komplettieren dann das ganze Gesamtbild.
Mit Gamescom verbinde ich ganz stark Community. Ganz einfach, weil bei meiner ersten Gamescom 2014 habe ich so meine eigene Community so ein bisschen gefunden. Genau, weil ich immer herausgefunden habe, dass es Leute gibt, die genauso verrückt sind wie ich und auch in ihrer Freizeit Kostüme bauen, ausspielen und ausfilmen.
I like his hair.
Ja, und da habe ich einfach einige meiner besten Freunde tatsächlich kennengelernt, die ich immer noch sehr wertschätze.
Hallo, mein Name ist Paulina. Ich cosplaye eine Odyssey aus Halo und ich liebe die Gamescom, weil ich sehr viel Zeit mit meinen Freunden da verbringen kann, weil ich beim Xbox-Stand sehr viel Zeit verbringe und es liebe, mit den Menschen zu interagieren, die die gleichen Gaming-Interessen haben wie ich.
Past couple of years have probably been pretty bleak for cosplayers.
Als wir mit unserer Halo-Gruppe
I mean, it's not been ideal. But plenty of photo shoots and I guess a lot of time to just work on costumes.
Was ich an der Gamescom
Yeah, I guess.
finde und liebe, ist, dass sie wirklich zentral in Deutschland, in Köln liegt und dass sie alles verbindet, was Gaming ausmacht. Videospiele,
That's a lot of
Cosplay,
pins.
Streaming, das direkte Aufeinandertreffen der Entwickler mit den Fans, die auch Rede und Antwort stehen. All das macht diese Gamescom wirklich einzigartig.
Die schönsten Erinnerungen für mich an die Gamescom sind auf jeden Fall die Xbox-Events. Alleine das Xbox Fanfest oder das Xbox Open Doors Event, wo ich wahnsinnig viel Spaß hatte, wahnsinnig coole Leute kennengelernt habe. Und ich hoffe, dass ich das in den nächsten Jahren mal wieder erleben kann, weil es fehlt mir wirklich sehr und ich habe da voll Bock drauf.
Hey Leute, was die Gamescom für mich bedeutet, wollt ihr wissen? Also ich muss sagen, die Gamescom ist für mich schon immer eine riesige Gaming-Community gewesen, wo auch die Xbox-Fans als große Familie zusammenkommen, sich in die Arme nehmen, Freundschaften schließen und einfach gemeinsam Videospiele aus der ganzen Welt feiern.
Die Gamescom bedeutet für mich auf jeden Fall so eine Art Familientreffen. Es sind einfach so viele gleichgesinnte Leute da, die alle Bock auf neue Games haben, generell dem Gaming unterliegen sind quasi. Und dass man die ganzen Leute trifft, die Spiele mittesten kann, die Community, die man eventuell so kennt. Ein Riesentreffen von Gleichgesinnten, die alle...
I think that's more specifically a poster for Mario 64.
Hey, ich bin Roberta. Die Gamescom ist persönlich für mich ein Event, auf das ich mich
I mean, didn't they show a cosplayer playing as Dark Link earlier?
Und was
I
soll
think
ich sagen?
so.
Ich bin seitdem ein Dauergast geworden. Ich nehme jedes Jahr Urlaub, weil es einfach megamäßig Spaß macht, dahin zu fahren. Ob mit Freunden oder mit Bekannten oder generell neue Leute, die du da kennenlernst. Es macht mega Spaß, es ist immer ein Erlebnis.
Hey troopers, it's Gray from the 4th European, and I'm here to tell you why I love Gamescom. Whether if you're into the newest tech, like the brand new Xbox, or the upcoming video game releases like the new Halo, or if you're out just to have some fun and cosplay like me, you're bound to find anything and everything that you love and want to do, all under one roof. So go check it out. See you there.
Die Gamescom bedeutet für mich persönlich extrem viel. Es ist nicht nur ein Urlaub, es ist jedes Mal ein Riesenabenteuer. Jeder einzelne Messetag ist speziell und man weiß nie, was passiert. Ich habe so viele lustige und tolle Dinge erlebt und möchte keine Sekunde davon missen.
Was war die schönste Erinnerung an die Gamescom? Als ich mit meinem Rollstuhlfahrer-Onkel, der ist jetzt schon über 60, den habe ich mitgenommen und der war ganz begeistert von dem Xbox-Stand. Alles war ebenerdig, die Anspielstationen waren breit genug für einen Rollstuhl, das Team vor Ort war klasse, die waren total aufmerksam, echt super geil.
Hi, ich bin Nicole, alias Niki und es gibt jede Menge Gründe, warum ich Games
I mean, that's not Master
Ich
Chief.
Games an, geht über Merch, Loot, übers Cosplay und hinaus zu meinen Freunden. Gamescom ist für mich das
Still
Event im
Halo.
Jahr, wo ich die meisten meiner, vor allem Halo-Cosplayer-Freunde wieder treffen kann. Wir sind mittlerweile eine doch große Familie und ich freue mich jedes Mal darauf, sie wiederzusehen.
Get some furries in a Banjo cosplayer. Are we going 18 plus? Flight sim getting
Flames!
violent. Dramatic music playing.
Hello everyone and welcome to our Gamescom 2021 Xbox stream.
We've got so many great game updates to share with you today. We're talking Age of Empires 4, Psychonauts 2, and my personal favorite, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Later on, we'll take an extended look at Forza Horizon 5. There's so much going into this, and
Yeah.
Playground Games' vision of Mexico
Show me the
is
cars.
muy bonito.
And we'll be getting our first look at the cover car for the game, Paris. I got $5 on it being one of those electric scooters that you see piled up on the sidewalk.
Will Kate win $5? I guess we're about to find out.
Yes, indeed. Our Xbox Plays team will also chat with devs and deep dive into current and upcoming games all week on twitch.tv/Xbox.
Let's get started with Techland and their upcoming zombie parkour sequel, Dying Light 2: Stay Human.
Oh boy.
Get the less interesting stuff out of the way first, I guess.
Hello, I am Timon Smektawa, Dying Light 2 lead game designer, and this is David Lubryka, animation director.
It's a nice studio you got there.
Can't wait until December 7th to finally give you Dying Light 2 Stay Human, the game we have been working on really hard for the last few years.
We're hoping the gameplay video you're about to watch will give you a foretaste of parkour and combat systems waiting for you in the game.
And we are just about to enter the city, fighting our way through
Okay,
its
but can we get a
brutal and dangerous
parkourish
streets.
open world
Though,
game
as you will
that
see in
doesn't
a
have
moment, there are
zombies?
plenty of things you can use to your advantage. So watch closely, look for special combat and parkour moves, and check out how with just a bit of creativity...
I don't know, in my head I'm just going, don't say Mirror's Edge, don't say Mirror's
Let's
Edge,
go.
don't say Mirror's Edge.
Sometimes I wonder what this city looked like before all this. Probably like many others. People had their ambitions, plans, lives. Now it's all gone. The virus started it, but it was the people who made the world the way it is. This city, Villador. They tell me they had a vision. They had hope. But soon, one vision broke into many different ones. Instead of fighting together, people stood against each other. War broke out.
Was it a little bird with a broken leg?
Hope died. city is falling.
Each time we strike down an enemy, we absorb their strength.
But I can't let that happen. At least, not yet. I need the secret.
Yeah, apparently people can be monsters. Who would have thought?
I have to pick a side.
The Bazaar needs good people. You're doing great so far.
I mean, zombie game with colours.
I have to make a difference.
I think
Yeah,
a
the
zombie
colour
game
is
with
nice.
colours. I think a zombie game with colours. I think it was Sunset Overdrive.
Oh yeah. I think they were mutants rather than zombies though.
They say that great
Close
change
enough,
is
I
a series of
guess.
small gestures. How about this series?
They're still like amalgamations of people. I still need to play Sunset Overdrive.
I didn't find it particularly interesting.
Is all hope really gone? We'll see about that.
Well, that was an exciting trip, wasn't it, Timon? Did you notice those bandits in medieval-like armor passing by skyscrapers, banks, and large billboards? That's what we call a modern Dark Ages.
And it's a very unique design, one very important for the plot of Dying Light 2. But there's another thing that stood out to me, all those parkour moves that you and your team has put so much effort into.
Well, all you need is a few thousand of animations, cooperation with professional tracers, mock-up sessions, and invaluable help from David Bell, whose face and moves player will see in the game, by the way.
No, yes, right. And we've got twice the number of parkour moves compared to the first game, and we are showing some of them in this trailer. The vault kicks being the most important to me personally. It brings a whole new fighting style into the game. The player can stagger an enemy and use them to perform further attacks, for example by rebounding from their bodies, jumping off them onto other foes, and so on.
I think we captured the movement really well and made it quite simple for the players to perform. I can't wait for them to try it out and tell for themselves how much they loved it.
It's definitely going to be useful. The city's buildings are higher than anything we have done before, improving its verticality. Players will need to find a way to reach those tall skyscrapers and other challenging spots too.
Then it's good we scattered some helpers around, like a paraglider, which can support players in both parkouring and combat.
Exactly, and it's gonna do great, especially in fights against humans, which are more frequent and important than in Dying Light 1. It's been over 20 years since the events from the first game, so people adjusted. They are much bolder now, at least during the day.
And they are more vicious too.
And I think that's a great summary of this discussion. Pre-order Dying Light 2 and explore its vast, complex world on December 7th. Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Yeah, the game looks nice, but it's not really my cup of tea.
It'll be on Game
The
Pass.
storied history of the franchise, Microsoft Flight Simulator launched on a home console with the release on Xbox Series X and S last month. Reviewers and gamers alike were blown away by how well the stunning visuals and the depth of the simulation translated to the console, and that's why I'm extremely honored to welcome the head of Microsoft Flight Simulator, York Newman, to the stream. York, thank you for being here. The last time we met was at the Xbox Game Showcase, and it was getting ready to come out on consoles. How did that go?
It went great. As you said, the reaction to the Xbox console launch was really just amazing. Both from Xbox gamers and from the press, they've been so gracious with their feedback. I don't know if you know, but Flight Simulator is one of the highest rated games on Xbox this year, which I think is just great validation that the translation of the simulation to the console has really worked well. Our usage numbers are through the roof. We are absolutely shattering franchise records, and I can tell you there have never been more people playing Flight Simulator than right now. So it's an awesome time.
That is awesome. Congratulations on the launch, really. But
all right.
I want to go to the danger zone. So what's going on with Top Gun?
There's so much going on, Paris. So you and I talked about
Right, yeah.
The Top Gun stuff.
The fans are super excited. They saw the FA-18. They can't wait to start flying. And as you know, it comes out later this year as free DLC alongside the movie. But as the movie is still under wraps, so are we. So I can still not tell you that much about it. But there's so much else going on even before Maverick. So we are continuing to do our monthly big releases that we've been doing for a long time. And next month, on September 7th, we are launching World Update 6. And this World Update, I mean, at the beginning of the show, if you remember, there was a little red plane flying into Cologne. Well, we did that because World Update 6 updates that region, the region of Gamescom. So Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. And what that means to us is we have new aerial and satellite images. We have a new elevation map that helps us with the mountains. So the Alps actually look awesome now. We have new 3D cities like Frankfurt and Wuppertal in Germany. We have Basel in Switzerland. We have Vienna and Graz in Austria, and those cities look just amazing. They have like 7 centimeters resolution, and it's awesome. But we want to celebrate the entire region, so we picked 100 of the most scenic places, the most famous landmarks, and we call those POIs, and we sort of spread them throughout the simulation, and we also added airports. We did Lübeck and Stuttgart in Germany, and Klagenfurt in Austria, and St. Gallen in Switzerland. And what it ties it all together is missions. We're having new discovery flights, we have new
I've been to Stuttgart.
and we have new
a very long time
tours
ago.
of the country. So they fly you around all the...
I guess now I can go there
places,
virtually.
really celebrate the beauty of this region of Earth. And this is a celebration of DACH, of Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. I'm so happy to be able to announce the date here at Gamescom.
Non-binary.
You know,
what colors are
that
those?
is really incredible, all the different regions and everything that you're going to have in the game, and the way that you're going to be able to actually highlight those.
Yeah, I think it's really cool, but you know, for us, it's actually not just the region and the visuals. We are.
Are those just colors, or is it a flag?
When you love aviation like we do, you actually realize that a lot of regions of Earth have a very special relationship with flying, with aviation. Sometimes it's, you know, the first
Flight sim
experiment
pride.
with aircraft, or a famous pilot, or a feat of aviation, or like a local manufacturer. So we thought to ourselves, why do we not use these world updates to celebrate the planes? So we are announcing a new series. We call them Local Legends. And think about that as planes that are locally well known, like in that region, but outside in the world, not so much. But why not use the world updates to highlight this, to bring these awesome machines to a worldwide audience? So for World Update 6, we picked a German plane from the 1930s. It's called Junkers U-52. In Germany, it's lovingly named Tante U, so Aunt U. And we think of us as sort of a digital preservation. So we really want to get these planes to an extreme level of detail. We're going out of our way to really go deep. So we're doing a full scan. We take full scans of the outside and the inside, as detailed as 1 millimeter, which is as good as you can really do this. And then we're working with, for the Junkers, we work with Bernd Junkers, who is the grandson of the original creator of the plane, Hugo Junkers. And he's helping us. He had a ton of inside
still
materials.
blows me away.
Then we worked with an organization that is preserving
this game is
the
gorgeous.
last surviving examples of the Junkers. So they let us scan and take photographs, and then we were lucky that to find a pilot that
So the amount of
actually
detail
flew
they
one
put
of
into
those planes
Forza,
while
it's
it was
like
still
it's
flying in the
planes
real world
as well.
And he lets us know, like, is the cockpit right and the sounds right? Does it feel right in the air? So we're having a blast working with these experts to really to celebrate this plane, to bring them back to life.
So this is almost like you're creating like a digital museum for aviation inside Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically that. It's a museum with flyable planes. So we're working with 40 museums around the world, and it's
I would
honestly
be
one of
more
the
than
funnest
happy
parts
to
of the
play
job.
flight sim in
You
an
end up
actual
working
flight
with
sim.
these curators of
Yeah, that wouldn't
planes.
be-
These are their
that would be
babies,
very cool.
And they sort of see the tooth of time in the real world, sort of nagging on their remaining planes, and they're so happy when we come in with our scanning equipment, and we're basically capturing their planes, and they know that we can digitally preserve them in perpetuity. And we're actually giving those scans back to the museum so they can do something.
That sounds
with it.
incredible.
And it's a great collaboration. And we're actually not just looking back in the history of aviation, we're also looking towards the future. So I have another announcement. We are working with a fascinating German company called Volocopter. And they're making an eVTOL air taxi for urban traffic. So
What?
they have a vision of the future, how these drone-type machines basically connect people in large cities. We're working directly with the engineering team to make sure that we are capturing their plane and their aircraft perfectly.
Why are there VTOLs in Flight Sim now?
I mean, you weren't kidding when you're saying that there's a lot going on inside of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Is there anything else you want to share?
They're drones, but not
yeah,
drones.
there's one more thing.
Yeah.
We are. I'm so happy to announce that we've
VTOLs.
partnered with RARA. That's the Reno Air Racing Association, and every year they put on something called the Steel National Championship Air Race, and we're bringing this to Flight Simulator. So this is the fastest motorsport. This is right down your alley. It's the fastest motorsport on Earth, and I actually brought you a little trailer to look at.
So race, speed, we go into the danger zone, baby. Let's go ahead and show that.
I really want to play Flight Sim on stream, but I need to figure out how to do that without choking the hardware that I have. Do I need to buy an Xbox Series X? If I can somehow find one that is in stock somewhere.
I mean, you're never going to be streaming higher than 1080p, so you might as well just get an S.
You know I like going fast, and you know I love
going
being
for the
in
future.
danger zone. When is this coming out?
Man, these planes, they
I don't
fly
even
500
think
miles
I
faster than
have the
500 miles
bandwidth
an
for
hour,
4K
50 to
streaming.
250 feet above the ground. So you are definitely going to be in the danger zone. I mean, without going
I don't
into
think
too
my
much
viewers
detail,
would even
this
be
Reno
viewing
Air
my
Race is
stream in
actually the largest
4K.
expansion we have since we launched on Flight Simulator. It's not just because we scanned all the famous race planes of the world. There's lots of them. This is also the first time when you can basically race against your friends and pilots.
Yeah, I'd
of
maybe get an
other
Xbox
planets.
Series X just to boot up
And
Flight Sim
so
and stream
A
it.
competitive multiplayer is coming
I
to
do
Microsoft
just
Flight
chill
Simulator,
Flight Sim
and
streams.
that will definitely test your pilot skills. And you ask, when is it coming out?
I need to
This
benchmark it on my
coming out
laptop
this
first,
fall,
though,
so
because
it's
my
right around
laptop
the
might be able to run it.
Oh, that is fantastic. And you know I have the need for speed, so I can't wait to get my hands on this and participate in some of these air races.
Awesome, man. We got you covered.
All right, thank you. If going fast on the ground is more
I've
your
never
speed,
played
keep an
Truck
eye
Sim.
out
That has
for
also been
extended
another
look at
fascination to
Horizon
me that I've
5
just never
later on
really
in the stream.
gotten around to
We'll
trying
also
out.
talk with Wasteland
ETS2
Game
is a
Director
very
about
pleasant
the game's next big DLC. But first,
I've just
if you're
never
an Xbox
really...
Game Pass subscriber, we have some great news for you.
I've just never really gotten too much into sim games. Game Pass news. That reminds me, Myst is going to be on Game Pass soon, and I'm going to be streaming that.
Ooh, Myst. Ooh, Next Space Rebels is on Game Pass on
hey.
day one. It's already on Game Pass.
Puppy. Don't know what this game is, but it has. Ooh, unpacking.
Ooh, unpacking.
Yes. I was gonna say I don't know what that game was, but it has puppy, and then I was distracted by unpacking. This looks graphically interesting. Like, some of these aren't really my kind of games, but graphically they do look very pretty.
It's nice to have them to try.
Yeah. Hey Ronnie. So it's basically a bunch of Humble games are now on Game Pass.
Yep, somehow they did it. They added even more games to Game Pass. But let's talk about what's coming up. We're talking Age of Empires 4 with the game's creative director, and we're going to see what's next for Sea of Thieves. But now, we've got a new roguelike retro shooter that, in grand retro fashion, sends you plundering through shifting dungeons to defeat a mysterious eldritch terror. Let's dive into the pit.
Huh? I don't remember this game.
Well, this is Hexen.
Yeah, that looks like it could be fun.
Neat.
Well, I am here with creative director of World's Edge, Adam Eisgreen. And Adam, I'm so excited to
Exclusive.
talk to you.
Sorry, I haven't pressed that button in a while.
And very special today.
Yeah, I have. So, so far we've been showing everyone kind of what Age looks like from in the game, when you're playing it. You've gotten to see a lot of footage of that, and we've also shown a little bit of our campaigns, right, through when we unveiled the 100 Years' War and showed Joan of Arc. But we have yet another way in Age of Empires 4 that we're kind of bringing history to life that we haven't talked about yet.
See, you do this to me. You put me in suspense. I want to know more, so let's go with it.
Well,
Let's hear more.
Okay, wait, you get one moment of suspense. Okay, that's enough. So, what we've brought today is we have these wonderful little videos that we've created that are interspersed amongst the campaign, and they're about 3 to 5 minutes each. And we have over an hour of them total, and they're called Hands-on Histories. And what they are is
I don't have any reason to press the world premiere button because none of these are world premieres.
From the cultures we're representing and just from medieval history.
Excellent. Well, I hear you've actually brought one of those segments that you're going to share here for the very first time.
Yes, I have. We are going to show you the segment on one of the most popular units from Age of Empires franchise and a fan favorite, the Trebuchet.
Excellent. Well, this I got to see. Let's take a look.
A counterweight trebuchet was the king of all siege engines. A catapult capable of smashing down castle walls from great distances.
Look at it go!
At Warwick Castle in England, they've built a replica, one of the largest in the world.
Please don't demolish Warwick Castle.
In 7th century China, by the 13th century,
Please don't go on the
trebuchets
ride.
evolved into devastatingly powerful weapons.
Such a simple design, but so effective.
That's suicide if you do that.
Several key features.
I like that this has just turned into a history documentary
And a
now.
sling to hold
An
the
English
projectile
one.
at the other. To prime, the 6-ton weight is raised using
Are we watching Channel 4 now?
Yeah, this is literally just this. If you want to know what British television is like, it's this.
which would lift the counterweight, weighing 6 tons. It's based on muscle power alone. What's essential about launching a projectile as far as possible is making sure that this end of the arm is moving as fast as possible. So once that weight drops, it really sends this point of the arm moving at its highest velocity.
This was done by positioning the pivot close to the counterweight and by launching the projectile from a sling. When released, the sling whips round, vastly increasing the launch speed. Trebuchets were carefully aimed, like modern guns.
In order to weaken the castle walls or even breach them, you had to make sure that the projectiles hit the same spot.
Can't believe we're now just watching a Channel 4 documentary.
For each projectile to follow the same trajectory, they all had to be the same weight and shape. To achieve this,
Well, you see,
Masons used a gauge.
the BBC has,
Now, I'm gonna
as
load
one of the things it has to do,
into a
is
sling.
educate.
This one must weigh
Which
about
means that a
25
hell of a
kilograms,
lot of
but some projectiles
really
can get up to
high-quality
150
documentaries come
kilograms.
out
That's the
of
weight of 2 men.
simply the fact that they need to do that to keep their license fee.
Trebuchets were also used
Yeah.
to throw burning tar,
Which is why you get all those David
even
Attenborough
dead
documentaries.
bodies. Anything to cause maximum distress to the enemy.
Did you hear that whoosh?
It was the counterweight trebuchet's lethal combination of power and accuracy that made it the ultimate medieval siege weapon.
I want to know who produced that segment now, and if they reached out to any British producers.
You know I'm gonna say trebuchet. Don't care because that is awesome. And
Because that just straight up felt like I was just watching TV.
Yeah, so, you know, one of the things when we were looking at what we were going to do with Age of Empires 4, there's a phrase I'm really fond of, which is, history is only as interesting as the people who taught it to you. And you could say that about any subject, really, right? But I think the great thing is when you have someone that's so enthusiastic and passionate about history, it really comes across. And we wanted to be that kind of teacher for history. And there's a phrase called humanized history that I use to kind of describe what we tried to do, which is we tried to like connect past and present. And you can see that kind of in our briefings as well, where we've got like real stuff with like CG kind of overlaid to show you the history.
Trebuchet has
And so
big-time
for
video game
these,
shenanigans energy.
We really wanted to do that same thing. So ourselves and Relic partnered with this amazing group in the UK called Lion TV, and they've done production on
There
an
you go.
amazing amount of shows,
Lion
and
TV.
documentaries for the BBC, and won every award you can imagine for media. And they travel to all of these locations in all these different countries to meet with these subject matter experts and get all of this great footage on how things really worked and how things
I
were
am
made.
not
And
surprised.
It's been delightful to kind of go through that process and, you know, get all these and finally start showing them to everyone.
I love it. Now, you also, of course, you've got a bunch.
Although I was also wrong.
On history segments. Anything else that you can tell us fans about what we can expect, looking forward
But
to?
generally,
Any favorites you got coming up?
Oh, well, favorites. Oh, man. Well, I think my personal favorite is one called Medieval Surgery.
Okay.
And I'm going to let
I
your
mean, both the
imagination
BBC
go
and
with
Channel
what we
4
might
probably
show
both
and
share
what
a
we
lot
might
of
talk about in that
producers.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
But
completely.
the thing I love about them is that they go all over the place. So, you know, we've got ones on warfare and castle building and like how they kept flaming arrows from not going out when she shot them. And so.
Oh.
Oh, dear.
I was just having a drink. I don't know what happened there.
The Xbox stream has died.
Too much BBC. Well, I'm just
Gotta
gonna...
post an F in the chat.
Yeah. Copyright claim from the BBC. So, how long are we going to be staring at a black screen for, then? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Oh, Lion TV make horrible histories.
Oh. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, they make a lot of other one-off documentaries as well, but that seems to be the thing that has lasted
I've
longest.
definitely heard of Lion before. Well, I guess now is a time to look at the chat.
Chomping at the bit.
There we go, it's
Well,
back.
you know,
And we're
October
back.
28th, we are launching the game. You can go to ageofempires.com to learn more about the title. And if you're really, really excited, right now you can go onto the Microsoft Store or Steam, pre-order the game right now. And of course, we will be there day one, Xbox Game Pass for PC as well. So anyone that's on that can just grab the game and start playing. but...
Yes, I believe you are a part of something very special.
Yes, so Gamescom opening night live.
Yes.
11 a.m. Pacific time. There might be something Age of Empires related in there, so if you're a fan, you probably should tune in.
Oh, a bit of a tease from Mr. Ice Green.
Maybe.
And I like it very much.
Just
Adam,
a
thank you
reminder
so much
that I
for
am an
being here.
official co-streamer for that tomorrow.
Always a pleasure. Age of Empires 4 looks fantastic, so I cannot wait. October 28th, neither
Very
should
much
you.
looking
Now,
forward to what we
tons
have in
coming up
stock.
here today, including a new update for State of Decay 2 and an extended look at Forza Horizon 5 with our friends at Playground Games. But now, let's catch up with Paris, who's gone from flying the skies in Microsoft Flight Sim to a different kind of cloud.
That's right.
Cloud?
Xbox Cloud Gaming is already available on Windows PCs, mobile phones, and tablets. And now, it's coming to Xbox consoles. The future with cloud gaming sounds bright. No waiting to install, no running out of hard drive space, no waiting to patch, and no buying a new console just to play with your friends. See how the vision of cloud gaming will bring people together without barriers.
So when I think about cloud and when I think about gaming, those two
Yeah, we're
things
all thinking of
together
Cloud,
really
the Final
show you
Fantasy
the
character.
future where you can pick up something and you can play it anywhere.
I
and you
wasn't.
could do it
I was
quickly.
thinking, ooh, I can play the games without installing them, get bored with them, and then never play them again.
Yeah, that's one of the perks.
It is very helpful for just trying out games.
That's pretty
I
awesome.
mean, when you've got the amount of games you've got on Game Pass, having this extremely quick way to access them, even if you're not seeing them in the crispest, highest quality possible, is a really nice feature.
Yeah.
Cloud gaming is really about looking at how.
And if you're enjoying it, download it.
I know
Exactly.
me in particular,
I did not expect to be a pro cloud gamer, but I think Microsoft's implementation of it is really nice.
We're targeting 1080p at 60 frames
And
per
we should
second.
still laugh at Stadia.
This is like the latency. This is the kind of stuff you need with cloud gaming.
Oh, 60 frames? That's actually very
If I own a game, I should also be able to cloud stream that game as
feels
well.
like you're playing on console, right? You go, you find the game you want, you press play.
so easy nowadays. You can pick up any device.
I
and
should
pretty much
have the
play
option to
any
both
Xbox
download that game and cloud stream it.
If my friends have titles that I don't have yet, I can just wait for them to send me an invite. It makes content just so much more accessible.
I really love the flexibility. It's awesome.
I mean, the other benefit of cloud streaming, which is one of the things that Stadia was trying to push, is
on a specific platform or a
multiplayer.
specific console.
You can play couch co-op games via cloud streaming and have everyone join the same video feed.
Content, isn't that so
Yeah, that's neat.
With cloud gaming, we have the
But I
ability,
mean, that
because you are
meant
connecting to
having
consoles that are in our data
multiple
centers,
people using
allow
Stadia.
The Gen 8 customers,
Yeah.
the Xbox One customers.
That was
Well, it
the
does,
problem.
It does make me wonder if Xbox is going to do something like that.
There's so much
Or if they
opportunity
can
when
do
it comes to
something
thinking
like
about
that
how we can
already.
make
I haven't
content
really
more
looked
readily
into
available,
what
let
it's
people
capable of.
play where they want to. Sign me up. I'm ready for cloud gaming right now. Let's do it. When's the release date? When does it release?
So they haven't even given us a release date.
No.
August 9th saw the release of the free optimized update for Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice on the Xbox Series S and X.
And the other big benefit is that you can play OG Xbox games on your PC through the cloud.
Materials alongside performance updates.
Yeah.
This is the perfect
Yeah.
opportunity to relive Senua's journey
So it does
or
still make me
experience
wonder
it for the first
whether
time.
we will just be
And if
able
you
to play
haven't
OG
played
Xbox
this,
games
do
on our
yourself a favor,
PCs.
grab a
Microsoft,
pair of
when can we do
headphones
that?
and immerse yourself into this world.
Agreed. Speaking of unique experiences on Game Pass, the Xbox Plays team will be taking a look at some ideated Xbox titles over the next few days, including 12 Minutes and The Big Con.
They're also talking with developers from Halo, the Master Chief Collection, Forza Horizon 5, and Destiny 2.
I had a lot of positive things about 12
Q&A
minutes.
to get your burning questions answered. You can
I heard
catch
it was
all
quite
of these
dull,
streams
but then
on
it's a
twitch.tv
time loop game, so I can see why people would think that was dull.
Forza Horizon 5, don't forget, our friends at Playground Games will give us an extended look at their monument to motoring in Mexico later on.
That includes never-before-seen areas of the game map, plus cars that have never been in the Forza franchise before. I've loved everything
We're gonna see
about
cars.
Horizon 5 so far, and I can't wait. Now, Kate, There's more games to check out, right?
Well, right, you are, Paris. Let's
Horizon
talk
5 is out
Wasteland 3.
soon as well.
Their newest DLC introduces us to a new cult. The Cult of the Holy Detonation.
The Holy Detonation is life. Deep within Cheyenne Mountain, we've changed. Devolved into the mutations you see before you. Set on a righteous path. The Holy Detonation's life-giving glow should be shared with everyone. May the light of the Holy Detonation purify you. Join us, Rangers.
It's still weird that Microsoft own Wasteland, Fallout, and Outer Worlds.
With new patches, bug fixes, and added features like fine wine, Wasteland 3
They're all different development studios, but still.
savor the game's bouquet.
Well, I mean, they're a direct through line.
David Rogers, David,
Wastelanders
thank you for joining us.
became Fallout,
in the
and
trailer,
then
we saw that the
Fallout,
DLC is
a
coming out
Fallout
on
game was
October
developed by the
5th,
people who then said, well, we can't get the Fallout license anymore, so let's make Outer Worlds.
So can you kind of talk
It's
about that?
weird.
Yeah, our dev team has been working.
These are supposed to be competitors.
Trying to make Wasteland 3 the best version.
Everybody's a friend
Over the
now.
past year since it's released, we've added features, we've balanced, we've listened to the community, we've fixed bugs, added stability, and I really think that the version that we have now
Stability.
is the absolute
My
best
favorite
version
word.
of the game. And if you've never played it before, now's an awesome time to jump in.
Someone in chat just called this guy Budget John Travolta, and oh god.
Now, this DLC is called The Cult of the Holy Detonation. Now, talk about that a little bit. Tell me what's going to go into this DLC. What should we be excited about?
Right. So you've heard of Cheyenne Mountain, right?
Yes.
For those who haven't, Cheyenne Mountain is this top secret military complex buried deep in the heart of Cheyenne Mountain in the middle of Colorado. It's designed to outlast a nuclear winter. And so when you hit level 16, an old friend calls you and says, hey, I need your help securing this secret military base and all the secrets within. And as soon as you get there, you find two warring cults battling over supremacy, trying to take control of the Holy Detonation, which is this pre-war science experiment that they worship as a god. And, you know, these cultists are insane, they're mutated, they've gone totally mad, and all they want to do is share the holy radiation with you and your entire ranger team. How generous!
Yeah, that sounds a lot cooler than some of the cults I may have joined in the past, but this is typical Wasteland fashion. We're really going to be able to get in there and mix it up, right?
Right, right. So you and your ranger team insert yourself right smack dab in the middle of their holy war, which, you know, what could go wrong?
Yeah.
And this is a Wasteland game, so you decide everything. Choice and consequence is our bread and butter. And so you decide who lives, who dies, who gets screwed over, who takes charge. You're deciding the fate of the cults, the Holy Detonation, Cheyenne Mountain, and ultimately all of Colorado. This is really your game to craft and mold.
That's awesome. So the last expansion was the Battle of Steeltown, right? Yeah. You had giant robots and things like that. So, you know, what are you going to do to actually top something like that from the last expansion?
Right. So we wanted like returning players to find something that they could never find in another version or like in previous versions of Wasteland 3. And so
I have no idea who that is, Ronnie.
Style dungeon crawl. And in there you find this awesome mix of mystery, exploration. You're meeting these crazy cultists who have been locked in this like pre-war time capsule.
Yeah, it does. Budget Pendulette works as well.
In a Wasteland game.
That's awesome. I want to give
okay,
back to
Vivi,
the
do you know of Penn and Teller?
These big boss battles. I want to hear more about that.
Right. So we took the best
that
parts of Wasteland combat.
Right.
Yeah, that
breathed new life into it with objective-based combat, which are basically super rad boss battles. It's no longer you're like huddling in a corner, throwing down turrets, just going on murderous rampages. It's not about killing, it's about getting the job done. And so now combat doesn't end until the mission is over. We send you on proper combat missions.
Yeah, I know.
breaking into prisons, rescuing POWs. You're disrupting these high-tech cultist rituals. You are splitting your fire team and coordinating like you
really
never
bad
have
with
had to
names.
before. Like everyone on your team has a job, and I really think this is going to take old players who know their Ranger team like the back of their hands, and it's going to make them scratch their head and really have to rethink
from Power Rangers.
and making it new, exciting, and challenging, like mentally. In
These
a way
are
we haven't been
all
able to
very good
really do before we just
descriptions of this
straight up
guy.
murder combat.
Now, Wasteland has a reputation for getting a little silly.
Right.
What are some of the weird characters?
I've forgotten
we
to
can
turn off
expect
the
in some of the
auto
story
mod from when we were
encounters
doing
we'll see
chatbots.
in the game?
Yeah, with,
Hang on.
with Cult of the Holy Detonation, we really got to cut our devs loose and just let them be creative and fun and silly. Like
Let me fix
Exile's
that.
modus operandi is if we're like brainstorming and something makes us laugh, we just put it in the game. That's just how we do it, and we pick up the pieces afterwards. Because we want to make something that entertains us, and then we know if we're having fun, our fans are going to have fun along with us. And so we got to explore, like really letting you get deep into this like weird radiation cult, and let you interact with them and talk with them, and tell stories and like maybe even join
That should
them.
be fixed.
And so, like for instance, one of the characters you meet, one of the first cultists you meet, is this slathering beast. He's got like claws and fangs and spikes jutting out, and he's drooling, but he's like the nicest guy in Cheyenne Mountain. Like you meet him, and he's like, "Hey guys, you should like come in here and like soak in
Oh, the
some
cat's
of
here.
these pads. It'll be
Oh, he's
great."
sitting perfectly on
he
that
shows
stage.
you in and lets you meet the whole cult. And another one of my favorites is the Proteus. He's what you get if if you took like 20 cultists and you like melted them into a big pile, kind of like I would do this with like a magnifying glass. I would like melt like army guys and like GI Joes into a big pile.
Just the cat
And he's
walking around the
wet and
stage.
sloppy and gross, and he's hard to understand, and he needs a translator supposedly. But he's like your #1 fan. And getting to build like this totally out there, wild, extreme character was a ton of fun
It
to write
blends.
for. It's a ton of fun to like explore like what makes this cult tick, and he's an absolute blast. Hell, even some of the weapons that you find in Cheyenne Mountain, they're devolved cultists. Like there's one guy, and he kind of devolved into this like vomiting bagpipe creature, and he has this real like kill me vibe about him. But we get to play with these fun body horror themes that let us jackknife between sort of like dark and serious and like goofy and funny, which is a line that Wasteland really loves to ride. Like, you know,
pets.
a lot of really important stuff.
Good pets.
But, you know, the Wasteland's a pretty bizarre place.
Oh, I can imagine. Now, we talked before, you've been working on Wasteland 3 for a while. There's already expansions that are out there. But say I'm a new player, say I'm watching this right now and I'm like, man, I want to get into Wasteland 3. What would you suggest for new players wanting to get into this?
And like I said at the top, like Wasteland is like the best version of itself right now because of all the work we put into it over the past year. And so you can get the whole thing with the Colorado collection. That's the base game plus Cult of the Holy Detonation and Battle of Steeltown, all for a discount. Or if you have Game Pass, you already have Wasteland 3. Just download it and play it, and then you can get both expansions with the expansion pass.
That is awesome. Now, to kind of recap this a little bit, we've talked about, you know, spewing pus bags and these weird characters and the cults and the boss battles and all these really cool things that are going to be in Wasteland 3. But please remind everyone before we get out of here, when can you pick up this DLC?
Right, this Work of Passion, it comes out on October 5th. And we're really stoked.
That is awesome. So this is the Cult of the Holy Detonation.
Cult of the Holy Detonation.
Coming October 5th. David, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Barish. Appreciate it.
All right. In the 3 years since its launch, Sea of Thieves has played host to some incredible crossovers, including unique ship sets inspired by games like Battletoads, State of Decay, Halo, and more. Today, we're excited to announce a brand new special event that will award players an all-new ship as a part of the latest wild crossover heading to Sea of Thieves. Better yet, this event begins tomorrow. So get ready to make some mayhem, and let's get our first look at this very special ship.
Still haven't played Sea of Thieves. That's Borderlands.
Wait, Borderlands? Why Borderlands?
Is that Borderlands?
That's Borderlands. Yeah, that's a barrel claptrap. Thingy head, figurehead.
It's a Borderlands ship.
Guten Tag, everyone.
This is also a reaction.
All digital Gamescom event. And we were thinking, what's the best way to kind of celebrate Gamescom and to be a part of this as Sea of Thieves? And so we're really excited to reveal that we're bringing the Mayhem ship set that you've just seen, a really, really cool ship that's inspired by Borderlands, into Sea of Thieves, and we're giving all of our players a chance to earn it during kind of the Gamescom time period. So it's been really cool to work with the Borderlands team to bring this ship to life, and giving all of our players the chance to earn it as part of this live event that we've cunningly titled Mayhem. You might notice the link. So you can probably guess the kind of activities that are involved, but if you head to Lorena at any of the outposts in the Sea of Thieves world, she'll be able to fill you in on the details of what you need to go do to earn the ship set. So we hope everybody
it makes sense for Rare to be referencing Rare games.
Event. So it starts today, and it runs through to September the 7th. So that's the time period you've got to get your hands on the Mayhem ship set. And I think that's it from me. So, as always, I will see you on the seas.
Yeah, I guess the Sea of Thieves announcement was just...
It's always
hey,
been a dangerous world
Borderlands.
Trumbull Valley. But now,
More than just a board. They have an event going on as well that I guess is themed around the Borderlands ship.
it builds new bonds.
I guess.
And in the face of a growing threat,
I've never played Sea of Thieves, so I don't really know what that entails.
the greatest weapon we have.
Oh right, Dying Light and State of Decay are different games.
Welcome back to Trumbull Valley.
Well, just like zombies themselves, it seems everything old is new again in State of Decay 2. And we have a guest to walk us through this Undead update. Please join me in welcoming Undead Labs Director of Communications, Wanda Russell. Hello, Wanda, how are you?
Hello, I'm great. It's great to be here, talk about the Homecoming update releasing on September 1st. We are very excited to get this into players' hands.
You are indeed. So let's talk about the Homecoming update. Obviously, we are coming back to Trumbull Valley. We were there for Heartland, the update, back in 2019. Talk to me about the differences, and I'll sit right here and listen, because you're adorable.
So Heartland is the story mode within the game, but it's a very linear, narrative-driven experience. You know, players couldn't move their communities there. So that's all changed with the Trumbull Valley map. It is the 5th core open world map. It's fully remastered, and it expands into 2 territories that were completely inaccessible in Heartland. So players can return to Trumbull Valley with their communities, start new communities there, and really start exploring everything.
It's
that
not
the new
quite
map
Kiki
has to
Wolf
offer.
Kill,
So then,
but it's still a cool
be a
name.
sequel then to Heartland?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. So
Guess you could
the events
say
in Heartland,
it's a wonderful name.
kind of play out. You see what happens in Trumbull Valley. So we think of it as the 3rd part of our Trumbull saga that began with the original State of Decay game, continued into
Apologies for the
Heartland,
silence, I
and
really
now
don't
we
have much
see
to say.
What has happened since then, and what storylines might
Zombie
be coming
game.
to a close.
Yeah.
So there is a lot for players to discover, a lot of environmental storytelling to find, and you know, things have changed. So this isn't the Trumbull Valley that players might remember. So that's going to be exciting.
Interesting. Well, and anytime you expand something like Trumbull Valley, you just have to have a juggernaut of content, pun intended. Talk to me a little bit about what some of those things are that players can get in on here now in the expanded Trumbull Valley.
Yes, a ton of new content. In fact, we're doing something unique with the Trumbull Valley map. There are items there that you can only find on that map and nowhere else in the game, including 12 new hats and outfits, 10 new very
Zombies
cool
are
weapons.
eternal.
We've got 6 new bases, 2 new achievements for achievement hunters. And on top of that, we are adding the game's 12th bounty pack. So that will be available from the bounty broker across all maps. And I have to say, they are some of the coolest weapons I have ever seen go into the game. I'm so excited for people to find them.
A juggernaut amount of content, and I don't care who sees that second ton of the day. That works out great. Well, let's talk about the State of Decay community, because it's absolutely an integral part to this entire franchise. And State of Decay being on Xbox Game Pass, how is
went
that
to the
impacting
University of
community? How is that impacting
Sunderland.
the game? Talk to me about those.
It's been fantastic, and we have an amazing community. We love them so much. In fact, one of the reasons we're doing Trumbull Valley as a map is because it was one of the most requested.
I mean, sure, she
features
then
from the
moved to the New
community,
York
which
Film
also
Academy.
makes it very exciting for us to be able to say, we
I'm just
did
not
it.
going to be able to get
Here
over
in
the name.
Sunderland.
And we have a
I'm
major
just not going to be able to get over the name
milestone
Wonder.
State of Decay 2 has 10 million lifetime players.
10 million
She
lifetime
played
play-
for
Hang
she
your
played
hat on
rugby
that.
at the
I
University of
absolutely love
Sunderland.
that.
Really grateful.
Incredible, amazing news. Congratulations to you and the entire team at
Thank
Undead
you.
Labs, man. Fantastic work. Well, speaking
I've
of Xbox
never
Game
heard
Pass,
of
let's
anybody
give you the
called
deets one more
Wonder.
time when it comes to the update.
So the update releases September 1st. It's a free
I've
update
known a
for all
lot of
State
people.
Decay 2 owners, and it's included with Xbox Game Pass. Happy homecoming.
I love it. Thank you, Wonder, very much.
My pleasure.
Wonder if she ever owned a
Now
Wonder
we move
Swan.
from Trumbull Valley to the Lost Valley of Akria. This mystical location trades
Sweet, on
zombies for
Torchlight
ancient
2.
warrior clans, forgotten temples of long-dead god kings, and a healthy dose of hack and slash. All this awaits in Strayblade.
Stray Blade.
Oh, damn, your blade's gotten out. Oh, no. I don't really have much else to say about this. Is it a Souls-like?
Oh, it looks kind of like Souls-like RPG.
In Strayblade, you discover the
Soulsy.
mystical lost valley of Akria, a world which ranges from overgrown temple ruins to frozen caves and winding canyons. A game world that changes based on your victories and plenty of dudes to stab in blade-to-blade combat. If that weren't enough, you even get a fuzzy little pal to help you out.
505
Between epic
Games,
fights
publishers
and
of the
small
all-time
guy,
classics
there's
Party Girls and
clearly a lot
Ashes
going
Cricket
on here.
2013.
So let's hear more from Point Blank Games about Strayblade.
Hello everybody, I'm Leonard Kausch, Game Director at Point Blank Games, and today I will show you Strayblade. Strayblade is an action RPG where you play a rogue adventurer who is exploring the ancient valley of Akria with his companion, a witty wolf named
Well, that's a
Boji.
friend.
Unveil the history of the Forgotten Valley, master the powers of the 3 Akrian metals to restore balance to this war-torn land.
That is the how, as well as the why.
Combat and exploration are the 2 key elements of our game. Let's dive into the combat first. Our combat system merges strategic anticipation.
Judging by
with
this
the
gameplay
attacks
footage, I
of
don't
split-second
think we're going to be
blade-to-blade
seeing the
reactions.
friend that much.
It is the high noon of skill-based melee weapon combat. To achieve that, we put our hearts into creating fluid, well-readable animations and epic cinematic finishes. You can choose from multiple weapon categories that can be combined to fit your playstyle. Now, let's take a look at the exploration. Akria's colorful world ranges from overgrown city ruins to frozen caves and winding canyons. Together with your companion, explore the deepest corners of an ever-changing world,
do like me some
bristling with
exploration.
adventure. Every
Can I play
discovery
as the
holds
companion?
treasure. Find rare materials, recipes, weapons, lore pieces, and beautiful places. Change is part of your journey, where every victory impacts the world around you. When you die, time keeps moving forward. Enemies can't stay dead. New foes invade camps that you weakened. And when Boji revives you, only one thing is certain. The change you brought shapes what now awaits you. And of course, get ready for epic boss fights. We hope you enjoyed the first look at Strayblade, which will be out next year. And keep an eye on our social media channels for more information.
Don't think you can play as the companion.
Next up, one of the most unique games finally comes to Xbox.
Yeah.
Why?
As in my evil
How are
twin
you going to
murders
play
all my
this
lovers
with a
because they secretly
controller?
in love with me. Unique.
In case that didn't tip you
Are
off,
they going
we're
to
talking
explain?
about Crusader Kings 3, the medieval grand strategy and role-playing game that has you trying to defend your royal line from those that would conquer your kingdom, and evil twins apparently.
Yeah, it's coming to Xbox as an adaptation, not a direct port, meaning that the UI and controls have been refined to bring that grand strategy experience to a controller.
Not to mention bringing the grand strategy experience to my comfy living room couch.
We'll all be ruling from our throne room soon enough. Check out Crusader Kings 3, now coming to Xbox consoles.
My son, we must never forget the crimes committed against us. Your father sought his glorious revenge and failed. He never understood that the greatest wars are won with
There's your
weddings,
controller
not
controls.
warriors, with daggers, not swords. Only the small-minded measure success across the span of a single life. The real game is played across
Smash
generations.
X to become the Pope.
You see, real strategy requires cunning.
Crusader Kings 3 is wild. You really haven't lived until you've made an 8-year-old the King of England.
Well, it's nice to have hobbies. We've all gotten into some weird stuff this past year.
Weird like diving into people's brains and exploring their mental universes projected into a
Psychonauts
psychedelic 60s
2.
wonderland kind of
I'm
weird?
not sure whether I want to see
Exactly
this.
that kind of weird, which means I am so excited for Psychonauts to finally get a sequel. It has been so long.
There really
And they've already shown off quite a lot of footage from the game.
Really is indeed. Now, think about this.
I've
2005,
been
Psychonauts
avoiding
originally
the
came out. It's a
footage
different
mostly.
time for gaming. Most
Oh,
of the
feel
biggest
free
games that you're
to
Resident
look
Evil
away,
4,
I guess.
Battlefield 2, Call of Duty
I'm not really too
2,
bothered by spoilers
they
for
were
this
great
one because
games,
it's going to be a long
for
time
sure.
before I play it
They're all
anyway.
big, beefy shooter games.
Meanwhile, Psychonauts had humor.
I still need to
whimsy,
get through
and
the first
surprisingly
game.
heartfelt moments. It was an oasis of color and humanity in an era when games were increasingly turning grimy, dark, and
I was
combative.
planning on playing
Not to
Psychonauts
mention
1
having some
last year, but I just
deceptively
never
deep
got
character
around to it,
moments.
so it will probably happen
That's
at some
why
point.
the original is considered a cult classic.
It has been a long time coming, and it is finally here. Enjoy this long-awaited launch trailer for Psychonauts.
Well, this shouldn't take too long.
It's a Bond parody.
My name is Raz, and I'm the new intern. And today is my first day on the job.
Get ready, Rasputin.
I mean, I did back this game as well.
Did you
Same.
forget everything I taught you about levitation, Rasputin?
I'm not supposed to check out equipment to interns.
You did what? Can't we just...
No. Quit picking on the new kid. We were all new once, in case you forgot.
I've got eyes on the target. And I've got eyes on me.
All I see is another unruly peasant.
Yeah, it's another 3D platformer, and I'm all for 3D platformers, so... But the original Psychonauts is just one that I never actually got around to playing.
You probably should, to be honest. It does some very unique things.
Yeah, it's been on my backlog for a very long time, I just never got around to it.
It wouldn't be the first time the
And Psychonauts 2 looks fantastic.
Molecular's power.
Leave it to me.
it's clear I could not be more excited for Psychonauts 2 because I gotta be honest, me and that original game, we got some beef that needs settling. If you know, you know. The meat circus level, it is infamous, it is brutal, it is difficult to say the least. It's the final level of the original game that came out.
The European version actually already had it fixed, but it was still bloody hard.
Tim Schafer and Lizette Teetry Montgomery.
Hey, Tim.
I'm hating myself, but you all welcome from Double Fine Productions. Thank you so much for being here. Tim, can you believe it has been 16 years? I almost said 19 years.
Yeah, it feels like only yesterday, but
God, I'm old.
Because the story picks up right
Yeah.
where the first game left off. And even though it has been a lot of years, it's a game that matters a lot to us. We really love it here at Double Fine, and we know that
I'm still questioning on which platform I should play the original on.
Which we were able to do because we brought back a lot of the same voice actors, and we
Because
also
there's a
had
lot of
one
options.
team here that worked on the first game, as well as bringing on a bunch of new people like Lisette.
Thank you. It was really important for us to carry the legacy forward, especially the cool style of Wonk that is very prevalent in the first game.
Style of Wonk. Just put it on a shirt. I'm in there for it. Let's roll it back a bit. Of course, this can be a kind of a trippy idea if you're not familiar. Psychonauts, they still jump into people's minds, I'm assuming, like the first game, right? So if a Psychonaut sort of dove into my brain, it would be like a lot of Ted Lasso quotes and French Bulldog memes. Am I correct, Tim?
Yeah, that's what's fun about a Psychonauts game is that
If I play the PS2 version, that means I can also double it as a retro Raccoon time stream, so...
What would it look like in there? What would be the color of the sky, and like who would the monsters be? And in Psychonauts, you get to do that.
I mean, they're ultimately all the same.
And when he goes in, he gets to fight those monsters and help people deal with their nightmares and
screen
wrestle with their inner
resolutions.
demons.
Yeah.
And so there's a ton of variety, and there's a lot of anything goes. We can go to any location, we can have any art style, and coming up with new levels for the second game.
Ideally,
well, I love
I want to.
Certainly, Lizette.
I want to
Let's
be
talk
able
a
to
little
check
bit
out
about
the
how
game
that kind of concept expresses itself
as I would
in
have
the
as
game
a kid if I owned it.
Psychonauts 2's got it.
Okay,
all over
then
the
yeah,
place, for sure.
either
Yeah, it's really
PS2
important
or
for us to carry
GameCube.
forward the unique brain worlds and unique levels from the first game, and the unique style as well. So we're really focused on.
Well, I have the PS2 set
how we
up,
can bring
so...
forward that style in Wonk.
Although I also have the Wii set up as well.
Now, of course,
Make
it
sure
wouldn't
to
be
do the
Psychonauts
European
without new
version.
mental demons, and I'm sure it's happening in Psychonauts 2. What does this mean? Does it mean basically is that we're finally able to slap COVID anxiety?
I'll have to look into which version. I'll have to look into
I
which
don't think it's
version
slap
is more
anxiety
stable.
phase, but you definitely get the slaps and panic attacks, and COVID definitely caused a lot of those. In addition to panic attacks,
European
some of our
version
old
came
enemies have
out
also
a
come back.
considerable
Our
number of
sensors are
months
our
later.
favorites, and they're definitely here.
But which
and
platform?
In addition to that, we also have
all
our
platforms.
doubts, and some new enemies. There's our lovely sensor.
Like PS2 or GameCube,
also
which
some
version
regrets.
would be considered more?
Some flying regrets. There are a ranged enemy, and they definitely
question.
are challenging. Our doubts are our
Xbox,
slow,
probably.
melee enemy.
The console I don't have on hand.
He is our. It energizes our whole combat troop.
Also,
So
where's
we
the
have a whole
subtitles gone?
cast that you can battle and fight with,
Including the new bad mood.
including the bad mood.
Which is
It's an electric storm of feelings that you have to fight.
They're just
Now,
giving
for
up
those
with
that
closed
haven't
captions, I
played
guess.
The original available now on Xbox Game Pass, by the way. Wink. Tim, why is Raz so good at rummaging through brains?
Raz is, he has some very special skills. He has two whole sets of skills, one being the acrobatic skills he learned growing up in the circus. He can balance on tight-ropes, jump on trampolines, swing on trapezes, and that helps him navigate and get around to all kinds of interesting places. But he also has this other side to his personality, which is that he's a powerful psychic. So he can levitate objects, he can use telekinesis and pyrokinesis. He has these powers which people might recognize from the first game, as well as 3 new powers for the second game. He has the ability to mentally connect thoughts together, and he can connect 2 thoughts and actually connect 2 thoughts together to solve puzzles and to navigate in this game. He has the power of time bubble, which is just change and slow down how things are moving by changing people's perception of time. And he also has the power of projection, which allows him to pull an archetype, a personality, out of his unconscious mind and bring it into the world that he's in, like a companion in battle or in puzzle solving.
But let's talk about the story for a second, because as the original Psychonauts, we saw Raz training to be part of an organization, and now perhaps he's part of a whole organization at this point. And are there other brain agents, other Psychonauts out there that maybe grew up in a completely different circus?
Yeah, we have a lot of new characters in this game.
We do. We have a lot of new characters in this game. As soon as Raz arrives on the headquarters, he immediately gets introduced to the interns. And the interns quickly tell him and show him how he fits into the organization.
The bottom.
They're right down at the bottom.
Yeah, so earn his way back to the top again. He's no longer the coolest kid in summer camp. And much to his chagrin, his entire family, his entire embarrassing circus clothes wearing family comes to visit him in front of all his new friends. And so the interns find out that he's the awkward middle child of a circus family. Each one of them has their own quirks and foibles, and some of them are even psychic. And so a lot of their story gets told in this game, including their backstory and how it relates to the foundation of the Psychonauts themselves.
Well, I like that. And of course, as you might know already, I'm sold. But you, of course, already knew that. When can myself and the rest of the world exact some beefy, meaty revenge?
You can get back to the beef and play Psychonauts 2 on August 25th on Xbox Game Pass and PC.
There it is. Lizette, Tim from Double Fine, thank you so much. And you know what? Extend a huge congratulations to everyone at Double Fine on the launch of Psychonauts 2.
Thank you so much. We're very excited.
Thank you.
And you can catch more of Tim Schafer and ask him those burning questions about the newest game in the fan favorite franchise in our Xbox Play stream tomorrow. But first, we're going from cleaning out mental cobwebs to cleaning up alien planets in this supremely satisfying 4K 60 trailer.
The Gunk. That's certainly a title.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't like this weather. I'm pretty sure the ship's insurance won't cover alien storm damage. You have to be careful out there.
The gunk's eating everything here. This planet is
this
a
thing.
paradise when the gunk's gone.
This one looked interesting.
I mean, if it's coming to Game Pass, hooray.
Bex? Oh, please, Bex.
And hello, Curly. I'll probably try that game out.
Looks neat. Are we going to have to take world premiere off of the bingo boards and put play it day one?
Great job.
Probably.
Oh, thank you. I mean, talking to Jorg is always a blast, and Flight Sim is such a special game to me because, I mean, it's literally letting me travel the world.
I mean, it's not like we're hearing
exclusive I was
anymore.
Daggers of jealousy watching you talk to Tim and Lizette over at Double Fine.
Well, I will say this, I understand, but you got to play Psychonauts 2 already, so I don't even want to hear it.
That's true, but it's not the same as talking to the creators. Just trust me when I tell you, be excited for Psychonauts 2.
I will say this as well, I am excited to see even more of Psychonauts 2 on our Xbox Plays stream.
Yes, don't forget, Xbox Plays will recap all the week's news throughout the week at twitch.tv/Xbox, so make sure to check that out. Before Kate and I let Playground Games take the wheel, let me just say that it's been our distinct pleasure to chat games and nerd out with everyone today.
Oh, it's hands down the best part of the job, for sure.
But we're far from done here.
Too true. Now, in June,
Take me to Mexico.
Games announced that Forza Horizon 5, the highly anticipated follow-up to 2018's breakout hit open-world driving game Forza Horizon 4, arrives on November 9th on Xbox
It's
console,
time for cars.
Xbox Game Pass for console, PC, and
Vroom,
cloud,
vroom.
of course, Steam.
And if you're watching our Xbox YouTube channel, switch over to our Xbox Twitch channel to see all this new exclusive content.
And that is twitch.tv/Xbox for the full vroom vroom experience. And if you're already watching on Twitch or one of the Forza channels, stay right where you are.
Without further ado, let's dive in, starting with the new custom Forza Horizon 5 controller, which is available for pre-order today, so players can have it in hand by November 9th when the standard
Custom
How
controller.
horrific is this going to look?
Is it translucent?
Watch out!
translucent.
Oh no, the 90s are back!
They never stopped making translucent controllers. Look at the Switch Pro controller.
That's true.
They splat paint on it. Got paint on my controller.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool design.
Yeah, that's fine.
Charlie here, and I'm at Playground Games with Forza Horizon creative director Mike Brown and Forza Horizon art director Don Arcetta. Hello, everybody.
Oh no, I spilt Dorito on my controller.
How cool is this? That is stunning. Look at that. Well, we obviously just saw a really cool video about it, and I'll be the first to say there is an amazing...
I'm not a huge fan of the colour yellow, though. It's not really...
Why is it covered in Kirby Crackle?
Absolutely. It just feels like it's a part of the Horizon Festival, like it's just dropped out of the game into your lap.
Absolutely.
Absolutely love it.
And there's so much we do want to show the fans, and it's been quite difficult to decide where to start. So can you maybe tell us a bit more about the game, Mike?
Sure, yeah. So Forza Horizon 5 is bringing the Horizon Festival's unique brand of fun and freedom to beautiful and vibrant Mexico. Players are going to set out across the largest, most diverse open world we've ever built in hundreds of the world's most beautiful and exciting cars.
I mean,
and people think that Mexico is
just a reminder that Xbox Design Lab is a thing if you want to make your own custom Xbox controller with different colours on it.
Deserts. It also has vast canyons, hidden temples,
can't get the
awesome,
cool paint
beautiful
splashers
historic cities,
No.
and even a towering...
But you can still pretty much design your own
So you've talked
colour
about
schemes
how
to your
Forza
heart's
Horizon 5
content.
showcases powerful,
Yeah.
all new graphical features. But what more can you tell us about that?
So yeah, our Mexican HDR sky captures really illuminate the world to the point where you feel like you're really there. And thanks to the Xbox Series X and S, ray tracing is utilized in Forza Vista to really make our cars look more true to real life. You'll encounter the smallest of
The
details
controller matches her
as you
hair.
travel throughout the world, all rendered in striking realism.
Oh, that's such an exciting
I
overview.
do love her
can't wait.
hair.
And next up is something we know that Forza Horizon fans have definitely been waiting for the most. Mike, what exactly is that?
Yeah, that's right. We are about to reveal the cover of Forza Horizon 5,
Ooh.
featuring the incredible Mercedes AMG
she
1
gonna make it look
and
like?
the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands. Should we take a look?
Let's do it, yeah.
You reckon she's done her eyeshadow in the Forza colour scheme?
Probably. Charles.
That sure is a car. Look at that car.
Is that the cover?
That's the cover.
Wow, what a race!
Perfect timing, Ronnie.
Now, those are two very different ways to explore Mexico. So what I want to know is why those two cars were chosen and what players can expect when they get behind the wheel.
Yeah, so those differences are exactly why we chose them. The Mercedes AMG 1 marks the first time a car features Formula One hybrid technology almost one-to-one from track to the street. And with the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands...
That just blended in completely with the
that's
transition.
rugged off-roading across Mexico's vast terrain.
And I'm certain people can't wait to see more of what these cars can do in the game, so I don't think we should keep them waiting any longer. Mike, can you tell us about what we're about to see next?
Yes, so in a few moments' time, we'll be kicking off a Forza Horizon 5 Let's Go stream, and everybody should check that out for a big deep dive into loads of new content and features from Forza Horizon 5. But before that, we have 8 minutes of brand new gameplay where we're going to see both
8 whole
the
minutes.
Mercedes AMG 1 and the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands.
I'm
And
gonna
in
enjoy
typical
this.
Horizon fashion, we are going to see active volcanoes,
Give me the
cars
game.
jumping out of cargo planes, and a race under beautiful Mexican skies all the way to the Horizon Festival. Should we check it out?
I think we should.
I am very excited to play this game. Yee. It's not a waste of a car. You're going to be driving that car.
Here we take control of the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands, atop of the towering, snow-capped Gran Caldera volcano.
See you on the other side!
Sorry, does the game just start by dropping you into a volcano?
I guess.
Neat.
This looks like tutorial.
It does look like the intro. Yeah, this is definitely the intro, isn't it?
This looks gorgeous. November 9th couldn't come sooner.
There might be a little bit of traffic ahead. Watch out for that. Making new friends, eh?
Dropping another car in.
I have to go make another delivery.
Dropping cars all over the place.
Drop zone approaching. Lovely day for a drive.
So now we see the 2020 Corvette Stingray tearing up the asphalt towards...
By the end of this game, there's just parachutes lying all over the place.
Sigue adelante. Keep going.
Do the cars from the previous Forza games usually carry over?
There's usually a hell of a lot of the same cars on the roster. I don't know if we'll see the PL350 though.
I was gonna say, are we going to see the Peel in Horizon 5?
I mean, the biggest problem with the Peel being in this one is that it is uniquely British.
Mm-hmm. I'm currently not worrying about my VOD, even though this is very much VOD mute worthy. But I think there's a lot of noise, and also they're not playing too much of the music, so I'm probably going to be safe. Flamingos.
This could get a little rough.
We have flamingos.
Touchdown! Not even a scratch. The jungle awaits.
Next up is the Porsche 911 Desert Flyer, crashing through the dense jungle tree canopy.
Flamingos!
Flamingos!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I don't have much to say about this other than, God, this game is gorgeous. Because
Yeah.
this game is so gorgeous.
We really don't have to say much. Just look.
Wow.
Just look at how beautiful this is. My Game Pass expires next month. I'm gonna have to resubscribe to Game Pass to play this.
Oh God, right, yeah, mine does as well. I think everyone's does. Yeah, I bought a Series S. I can justify it.
You're not gonna believe your eyes when you see this. Keep going.
I put some money aside to buy WarioWare Get It Together when it comes out. Which will be my September game. I'll probably subscribe to a month of Game Pass to try this out. It'll be worth it.
What do you say? First to the festival wins?
Also, this is licensed music again.
We have the stunning Mercedes AMG 1 at full speed. across Mexico's
Make
sunny
noises,
Rocky
noises, noises, noises.
Oh, it's cars. It's time for cars.
You know, I have a button for this.
Yeah, we probably should have been using that.
Just enjoy the cars. You don't need to hear the cars. You just look at the beautiful visuals. I did look at the co-streaming stuff on the Microsoft website, and they said this stream should be co-streamer friendly, but if any of the audio gets caught, that is not our fault. I just don't want to risk a VOD mute.
Cargo fast.
Yeah. Cargo very fast.
Oh, we're finally at the festival.
Yay. Just gonna turn that off again. Even though we still have licensed music playing, I still wanna hear the game. Oh, that's the end of the footage anyway.
Yeah, because we reached the festival. First level over. Oh,
let's go. Well, they're going to be showing more Forza Horizon stuff post-stream, although I'm not going to be streaming that because that's pretty much.
Yeah, that's just gonna be more cars.
Yeah, you can all tune out and go to Xbox if you want to see more cars.
Well, that was absolutely incredible, and I know I
abruptly cut off.
Tired of cars parachuting out of planes anytime soon. But I am going to need a minute to process all the amazing gameplay we just watched, which works out just fine because we need to welcome everyone who just is joining us right now. So for those of you who just turned out, we have just wrapped the
Thank you, Ronnie.
2021 Xbox stream and have so much more content to cover. So please sit back.
Anyway, this is
the point at which we should probably leave this stream.
Yeah, I will be back tomorrow with Gamescom opening night live. If you tune into my stream, you get drops. I don't know what the drops are going to be, but hey.
Jeff Keighley themed drops!
I'd imagine they're going to be Jeff Keighley themed. I don't know what else.
I don't know what else they would
be. Yeah.
As well as a few more cars along
Probably
the way.
Among Us things or something, I don't know.
So,
hey, no problem.
that was all very,
That's
very
number one.
exciting. I think first of all we need